Hey, fourth grade. Today for reading, we're going to continue our work with author's purpose. You guys have been doing such a great job at identifying the author's purpose, and I hope that you're becoming familiar with some of those clue questions that you can ask yourself as you're reading nonfiction to decide what the author's purpose is. So today our I can statement is, I can identify the author's purpose and use it to think about the information that's provided. So with knowing the purpose, it helps us understand what the writer was trying to tell us. So we're going to look at explain as the author's purpose today. So when the author has the purpose of explaining, you are going to know how something works or why something occurred. And I'm getting that definition right here on your screen. So we have author's purpose is to explain. Explain means to make clear how something works or why something occurred. So let's take a look at our clue questions that are going to help us identify the author's purpose. The first clue is the author teaching you how something works or how something was produced? Is the author explaining why something occurred or occurred? So we are going to look at the mentor text today. And I just took a piece of the article and I didn't use the whole article, and you can do that too because some of the articles are a little bit longer. So just screenshot a piece of it that interests you and see if you can answer the clue questions from there, which I was able to do with this section here. So this article got my attention because it's about submarines, and I don't know very much about submarines, and so I figured by reading this, I could learn a little bit about it. So this article is specifically how they play hide and seek and how submarines get found underwater. So pretty cool, right? So the author is explaining in this section right here. I just took one section of the article because it was a couple pages. It's talking about sonar. And I'm just going to I highlighted some of these things. So I just want to go over some of the things with you. So it has a heading, pointing sound waves below. Excuse me. Submarines and other ships use technology called sonar. Sonar devices find objects below the surface by directing the sound waves into the ocean. So then it goes on to talk about how this sonar works. Okay, it's an active sonar. Devices are basically underwater loudspeakers and microphones. So they're sending sound waves through the water to try to locate submarines. So then down here it talks about how it works the best. Sonar works the best if you have a shiny surface on your submarine and a steady water temperature. So the submarine can't be going up and down, and it gets colder as you go towards the bottom of the ocean, gets warmer towards the top. So sonar works best if they're steady, okay? Then it has a diagram here of exactly how sonar works. And so here's the object, here's the sound waves coming through it, it hits the object, and it comes back to the receiver. I thought all this was very fascinating, and you can definitely tell that the author's purpose is to explain. So it's definitely teaching me something. It's teaching me how sonar works to find submarines. It's explaining how the sonar works, and it reflects it. The sound waves bounce off of the object and come back so you can locate it. So when I go to write my reader's response today, after reading and thinking, I'm going to use some of those details in my response. Okay? So our challenge today is try to find some details that support our thinking. So our thinking stem, pretty easy for the last few days. The author's purpose is explain. Okay, I know this because they're teaching you about how submarines get found underwater. In this section, I learned that subs are found using sonar. Sonar devices find objects below the surface by directing sound waves into the ocean. It works if the sub has a shiny surface and the water temperature is constant. There's a diagram of how sonar works too. So all of these go back to these clue questions that I'm asking myself as I read. Is the author trying to teach me something about how something works or produced? Yes, he's trying to teach me how sonar